any time around other writers or attended writers' conferences or panel discussions, you've probably heard the terms pantsers and plotters tossed around, and writers that might identify themselves as a pantser or a plotter. If you haven't, you probably think I'm talking gibberish. Now, I don't think either word appears in standard dictionaries, but they are terms used commonly by writers, and they refer to styles of writing. Basically, whether a writer is someone who plans things out thoroughly or someone who writes by the seat of their pants. Thus, a pantser. On a side note, you can be a pantser even if you wear a dress, or a kilt, or giant diapers. Now, for a lot of writers, they identify themselves either as strictly a pantser or strictly a plotter. But other authors might fall somewhere in the middle. You can also be someone who starts out their writing life as a pantser and then comes to realize that they could save themselves a lot of time and headaches by doing a little bit of plotting before they sit down to write, and thus switch over to the plotter camp. Now, plotters come in many different varieties. Some are very thorough plotters, where they write very detailed outlines and summaries and character lists, do extensive research. Others might not be so detailed, and just sketch out some rough ideas before they sit down to write, come up with a general outline of how they want the book to go, and then fill in the details as they actually start writing. A true pantser will not do any of this prep work. They will get an idea maybe in their head and run with it and not even know where the story is going, not know where it's how it's gonna end, or what's gonna happen in the middle of the book or anything like that. There are benefits to being a pantser and there are benefits to being a plotter. I'd say I started out as a pretty true pantser. I did not do much plotting at all when I first started writing, but this creates some problems. I think I usually had a general idea of how my story was going to end, but even if you know the beginning and you know the ending, there's this whole spot in the middle, and things can get really messy and confusing if you don't know what's going to go there. So if you're pantsing and you're writing, then you run into this roadblock where you get lost and confused, and this can lead to writer's block or just giving up on a manuscript. So I've definitely switched over to the plotter camp. I tend to create a nice outline for myself before I start. Now, I don't do a ton of research, and I wouldn't say the outline is as thorough as some people's outlines, but it's a chapter by chapter outline. I sometimes even make a little list of characters, although usually I end up adding to this list because I add characters as I'm going along. There are some folks who think that being a plotter means you're kind of stifling your creativity, but I don't think this is the case. An outline gives you a nice guide to work with and helps to give your story structure, but you still have a lot of creating to do as you're writing, even when you make an outline. And so there's a lot of being creative, even when you have an outline, which is a work of creativity in itself. If you are a true pantser, you're probably going to spend a lot more time on editing of your work because things probably aren't going to totally fall into place. And if you're just free writing, you're going to run into a lot of stuff that you're going to have to cut out later on. And that's not too efficient as far as time goes. That said, I'm working on a project right now that really we're going in a pantser kind of direction. I'm working with a friend of mine, which makes it even crazier that we're both kind of pantsing this because we don't know where we're going. But it's fun. So it's fun to be a pantser, and it's fun and efficient to be a plotter. And you can be both as a writer. You don't have to be one or the other. You should do what's most comfortable to you, but you should also try other things. You might find that you like it, and you might find that it improves your writing. So I hope this answered any questions folks had about what a pantser is and what a plotter is. And whether you are a pantser or a plotter, I wish you lots of success in your writing. My name's Alyssa Grasso. I'm an author. I'm mostly a plotter, but I used to be a pantser. I'm also awkward. And I put out awkward author videos every Tuesday. If you like this video, please feel free to subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up, or leave a comment below. Let me know what kind of writer you are.